back to Haggett Hill. As my title implies, I made a mistake when I was building this trailer. You know, years ago I used to teach college, and one of my classes was an ethics class. And I'd talk to my students, I'd ask them a question. I said, have you ever made a mistake? Then, you know, they'd raise their hand, they'd say whatever, and I'd tell them, well, I've never made a mistake. Never. And they'd look at me kind of funny, and I'd say, now, I will say that I am not perfect. I've never made a mistake, because a mistake is just something that kind of sort of maybe accidentally happens. You didn't mean for it to do. But I haven't made a lot of mistakes in my life, or hardly any at all, but I have made some bad decisions. And one of my bad decisions is when I built this trailer. I thought I'd take the easy route and build it with what I had on hand and not do too much modification. But as you can see, it sits a little higher off the ground than what I like. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to get it unhooked from my tractor, of course, and what I'm turning it over, I'm going to take the axle off. I'm actually going to split the axle and make it a little wider so it'll come up a little closer. I don't want the top of it below the tires. I still want the tires below the top of the bed. But I'm also going to cut off some of the bracing to make it set up so high and lower it down just a little bit. So watch along as we work on this project together today. Well, that certainly didn't go as I planned, but you know what? It'll work. So where I'm going to start at, I'll unbolt these U-brackets and take the axle off, and then cut off those braces and lower it down. Then I'll split the axle and weld it back together. Alright, before we cut it into half, before we take it off there, we'll cut it in half. We'll put it right in the middle. My wife bought me a new cordless angle grinder for Christmas. We're going to give it a try. First time I've used it. got those pieces off. I've got a piece of angle iron I'm going to weld on top of this to stiffen that up, then drill my holes again for the U-bolts to go through. I'll bend these down, cut them, bend them down, and weld that to it, and we should be in good shape. Alright, we'll weld those pieces on top of that, and that'll give it some strengthening ability. So I'll drag out my welder. Now, as you all have seen in some of my other videos, I am not a professional welder, nor do I claim to be. But I can make metal stick together, and it may not be real pretty, but I can do it. Can't see, but that should help. Much better. Alright, so I got it all welded up. Doesn't look real pretty, but it's held together. I'll hit it a little bit with my angle grinder and my flat disc and shoot some paint on it when it cools off. I put a couple additional braces that I didn't have on there the first time. I didn't have these on in the back, but I put them on there this time around. So it should be quite a bit better. As I said when I built this trailer, it's not like I'm hauling logs or anything big on it. It's just to be pulled around in the yard. Let me go get a drill bit. We'll work on these holes, get the axles clamped back in, and then see what I can do about welding them back together. Okay, my plan is I don't have any pipe that's small enough to go inside this axle or to go on the outside to sleeve it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the axle in, get it spaced the way I want it. I've got some aluminum, and I'm going to put on the outside of it and splice it together that way. I've got some longer pieces of this, and my plan is to get it down, get it level, put a piece on each side, and no more weight than this is going to be hauling. It should work just fine. So let me go get a couple pieces of angle, and I'll show you what my plan is. Alright folks, here's kind of what I had in mind. Keep in mind, I'm not building superstructure for a skyscraper here. This is a yard trailer. Got two pieces of angle iron. I'm going to put it on each side of the tire, and then, or each side of the axle, and then I'll weld it. I think it'll work. I just got to get everything clamped down really tight. Alright, so here's what I got in mind. I've got the angle iron on both sides of the axle. I'm going to weld right through here, both sides, through here, both sides, turn the axle over, get the other side, and if I want to, I can even put some angle across here just to stiffen it up. Again, this is a yard trailer. It's not superstructure for a skyscraper. I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to go off camera, clean this up right in here with my angle grinder, and then we'll come back and we'll weld. I've got it tacked I'm going to put you on time lapse while I go ahead and finish up the welds, and that way I won't bore you with that. Then I'll come back and show you what it's like when it's done. Well, there it is. It's not too pretty. It started to rain on me, so I had to hurry a little bit. I'll get the axle bolted down and get the trailer turned back over. Had a couple boards come loose on me while I had it turned upside down. Alright, got the axle all tightened back down. We'll see if we can't get this turned back over without breaking anything. Wish me luck. Okay, folks, thanks for stopping by and helping out with another project here on Haggett Hill. I got done what I wanted to accomplish. I widened the axle and I dropped the total bed of the trailer down about 4 or 5 inches. I get a little bit closer to the ground, make it a little bit more user-friendly for what I want to use it for. So I do appreciate you stopping by and watching. If you like the content, please like and subscribe and come back and see us. I'm trying to help the channel grow. Remember, get out and enjoy God's creation, even if it's on a rainy day like today. So God bless, and come back and see us again here on Haggett Hill.